Hello, I'm recording this after United's draw against Leeds at Old Trafford. And as usual, there is giant overreaction on social media. And I know it's a disappointing result. It's frustrating to drop 2 points against a team which is 17 in the league. But before jumping to any conclusion, I think we need to consider a few things. First, United and Leeds, it's a huge rivalry. So over the years, the games are always pretty intense. For Leeds United fans, it is their biggest game of the season because United is the most hated team in Leeds. I remember watching games between these two teams before Leeds got relegated in 2004. They were always intense. There were always fights. Tackles were flying around. And to make matters worse, we snatched a few of their players like Eric Cantona and Rio, which were pivotal in United's success. They also have players like Harrison, Bamford, and Ayling, who have been with the team for quite some time now. So they clearly understand the rivalry. So against United, their fans and team are always charged up. So it is never going to be an easy game. Second, we need to consider the new manager bounce. Jesse Marsh, their manager, was sacked a couple of days before the United game because things were not going well. Players were not responding to his methods. And in such situation, when the new man comes in, there is always a bounce. Players are charged up. And we saw that in Everton-Arsenal game last week. When Sean Dyche took charge, Everton looked like a completely different team. Third, our midfield was not balanced. Now, we were without Casemiro, Eriksen and McTominay. And even without them, if you compare first teams of United and Leeds man-to-man, United are clearly better. But when you are playing as a collective, it's a completely different ball game. So our midfield was Fred and Sabitzer. So Fred, I think, is a good player, but he is not good at keeping the ball. He needs someone like Casemiro to exert his influence. On his own, he is not that effective. Sabitzer, he strikes me as a box-to-box midfielder, but it was his first game. He might need some time. And we completely lost the midfield battle right from the first minute. We did not know how to keep the ball. Nobody in the team knew how to use the position. So I love Bruno, but he is not as good as keeping the ball as, say, Eriksen or De Bruyne. Anthony keeps the ball well, but he was out injured. And when Leeds started pressing so well, the team was caught off guard. We had no answer. And in such situations, we need a calming presence in the midfield. Say someone like Carrick, and we lack that. We need to sign the holding midfielder as soon as possible. Now, if you take a look at both of their goals, we gave away ball very cheaply in bad areas. So for the first goal, it was Bruno. At that time, positioning of other players was just horrible. For second goal, it was Garnacho. And I know that conceding 2 goals doesn't reflect well on the back four, but for me the real problem was lack of control or lack of protection from the midfield. Now, this is not to take anything away from Leeds. Most of their players had a decent game. I thought Ayling was excellent. Harrison was a constant threat. The Gonto was lively down the left hand side, and I think even Adams had a good game in the midfield. But the lack of control or imbalance in the midfield is a real problem for us. Now, the manager has hinted at losing Lindelof as a number 6. I'm not sure if that's going to happen, considering he has barely played in the midfield for United. But I trust the manager to figure it out, and he might figure it out before the next game. So if I have to sum up the game, dropping 2 points at home against Leeds is disappointing, but I don't think it was as bad as a lot of people are making it out to be. And I was more annoyed when we dropped 2 points against Crystal Palace. Now the next few weeks are going to be challenging. We are playing Leeds again tomorrow, this time at Allen Road, and it's going to be another difficult game. I expect us to win, but I will not be surprised if we drop points again. Then we have two Barca games in 2 weeks, followed by the League Cup final. So yeah, these are testing times, and I'm looking forward to it.